You know exactly why you clicked on this video. You know exactly what I'm going to say. And I'm going to start by saying it is really hard being a Green Lantern fan. It's extremely hard. Ever since the 2011 movie, the Green Lantern character has just been done dirty. He's just been done dirty. He really has been. And the character of Hal Jordan is, once again, I think, being done dirty by this show. The DCEU was such a disaster that I was really hoping for a reboot. And even then, it didn't even have Green Lantern going on in it. It really didn't even have Green Lantern in it. We got Cyborg before we got Green Lantern, which isn't really a complaint, but Green Lantern should have been a Justice League member from the get-go. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is, I need to talk about the DCU from James Gunn because of lanterns. Obviously, this is about lanterns. So far, I don't like anything that I'm seeing. I really don't like a thing that I'm seeing. I'm genuinely kind of upset about everything that I saw because we were off to such a good start. Such a good start with Superman. It was an established world full of metahumans, and we got some animated shows like Creature Commandos. We got things of that nature. We got Peacemaker, which establishes a few more aspects of this DC universe from James Gunn. Now we're getting into the cosmic side. I mean, as if we didn't already kind of go there with, the multiverse stuff, but still, now we're getting into Green Lantern, which has some of my favorite content from DC. And it's going to be a detective show that hardly has any green in it at all. This shirt is greener than this entire trailer. This show is so shitty brown, and it just looks like I'm watching No Country for Old Men or There Will Be Blood. I'm not watching Green Lantern. I was really, really, really hoping that this is going to be like a space police cop kind of show where it's like a buddy cop kind of story between Hal and John. And maybe we're still getting that, but it's going to be a true detective style story. I think that's mostly here on Earth. And that's just boring. That's really boring. Green, for one, is the color of will. And I feel like these writers and these creators, anybody who has creative control of Green Lantern, besides Guy Gardner and Superman, he was good there, it seems like they don't have the will to use their imagination. Imagine this. You are chosen out of all 8 billion people on your world by the guardians of the universe themselves to be an intergalactic space cop. You are one of the coolest things in the world. You get a magical ring that allows you to create anything that your imagination comes up with, and that's your weapon, right? The Ryan Reynolds movie couldn't get that right. And actually, no, I think the Ryan Reynolds movie is even more creative than this. This just looks bland. This doesn't look like I'm watching Green Lantern. I'm not even really seeing any green. There's so many things I gotta talk about, dude. There's so many things that I don't like so far. First of all, they both seem like dicks. Jon Stewart, who in my opinion is better than Hal Jordan, doesn't really seem all that likable yet, anyway. And Hal, he's like 60, so he's getting the MCU Hank Pym treatment? Really? We're going to do what we did with Hank Pym? He's going to be a senior citizen by the time Jon Stewart here is a seasoned Green Lantern? And then, I guess it's kind of cool now because we're establishing all 3 human Green Lanterns now at once instead of just, going from Hal all the way to Guy. But it sucks. it really kind of sucks because now we don't get to see the best of Green Lantern. We don't get to see the best of Hal Jordan. We're going to be focusing a lot on Jon Stewart, which is, again, not really a problem. But the way they say what they say and the way they handle this is really bugging me. I think they have some character assassination here going on with Hal Jordan. And I say that because why is he acting xenophobic? The whole squirrel joke thing, it's like, oh, one of them's a squirrel. Like, okay, yeah, all right. You're uncomfortable with the fact that you work around all these aliens? What about this dude right here? Yeah, I'm pulling out the big guns. What about Kilowog? Fucking Kilowog, this is your best friend. Does he not exist now because you're racist? Is Hal Jordan fixing to be racist? Are you serious? So, another thing here, I really want to see, and I really doubt I'm going to get to see it now, because I don't think the show is going to show it. And I could be wrong. But, the guy who played Sinestro, he did a really good job. I don't know who they're going to cast for Sinestro, or if they're even going to do him this soon, or if they're ever going to bring him in, but I want to see Sinestro in the DCU, and he needs to look like this. He needs to look like this fucking action figure right here. No bullshit this time, okay? Don't tease us the yellow suit. He needs to be a yellow lantern. He needs to be, the embodiment of fear, all that stuff. I'm using action figures as an example here because I need to show you my passion for Green Lantern. Green Lantern is the Star Wars of DC. And if you can't get that right, then you don't need to be doing DC. You just don't need to be doing DC. Superman was such a great start. It really was. But we're kind of noticing problems here with lanterns, and it's making me very worried for how they're going to handle it. So I'm going to recommend some Green Lantern stories for you to read. Blackest Night, Jeff Johns' run. Honestly, watch First Flight. That's a good introductory, entry-level, good introduction to Hal Jordan. Wouldn't say it's a, great movie, but it's a good enough DC adaptation of Hal Jordan's story. And, it just gives you an idea of what Green Lantern is like. And, that's what I'm going to recommend. Read the comics, watch the animated films. They're fantastic. But, yeah, this video was a long time coming. I really had to rant. This Lanterns trailer pissed me the fuck off. It really did. Because, once again, we were doing so good. It looked like we were finally headed a step in the right direction after the schizophrenic run that was the Snyderverse. But, I feel like I'm coming off as a grifter. But I just want comic accurate stuff. I want unapologetic comic book adaptations of my favorite Marvel and DC stuff. This is why you have to take criticism and you have to learn from the criticism, and you have to just don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. It's the source material. And if you feel like you're going to be goofy with it and you feel like you're going to fuck it up and you have to change all these things just for you to take it seriously, I guess, then maybe you shouldn't be adapting it. Anyway, that's really all I got to say. See ya. So please note, I'm going to be reviewing this show when it comes out. So, yeah, be on the lookout for that.